Everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid.
Mankind is gifted with a very unique quality. It has the power of thought.
The entire purpose of a good university is to give you a foundation to fail.
So where is the question of experimenting or experiencing nature yourself?
You think and you believe and you feel that learning is a chore rather than a delight.
Don't become a prisoner of books. ये एक हथकड़ी है जिसने बांध के रखा हुआ है आपको. हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज के वीडियो में मैं 2-3 कोट्स पढ़ के फिर मैं शुरू करना चाहता हूँ. दिस इज फ्रॉम ओपेनहाइमर, द साइंटिस्ट हु इन्वेंटेड द एटम बॉम्ब और द टाइम बॉम्ब, विच इज अ सोर्स ऑफ पावर इन द मॉडर्न टाइम्स, biggest source of power, the nuclear energy. So what he says, one of his quotes is, there must be no barriers for freedom of inquiry. There is no place for dogma in science. The science is free and must be free to ask any question, to doubt any assertion, to seek for any evidence, and to correct any errors. Now, another one from Einstein. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Another from Katha Upanishad. When the 5 senses and the mind are stilled, when the reasoning intellect rests in silence, then begins the highest path. Now look at the beauty of these 3 quotes, starting from Katha Upanishad till Einstein and Oppenheimer. Now these great thoughts of wisdom, what they convey, they liberate mankind, because mankind is gifted with a very unique quality. It has the power of thought. It is the replica of the supreme consciousness. So what human consciousness can discern and reveal to itself and to others, nobody else can. Now what we have done to this science, what we have done to this beautiful creation of God, the mankind, we have bound them in theories which some other scientists have experienced. They have discovered certain things and we have scripted them in like the letter of law, that you have to follow this, you are bound by this. Now this is a clutch, this is a fetter. ये एक हथकड़ी है जिसने बांध के रखा हुआ है आपको. आप इससे फ्री होना चाहते हैं, मैं ये नहीं कहता कि आप स्कूल लेवल बुक्स नहीं पढ़िए. इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी एजुकेटेड, टू बी लिटरेट. बट बियॉन्ड दैट, लुक एट हु हैज़ डिस्कवर्ड, हु आर द पीपल हु हैव given the greatest discoveries to mankind. In modern times, even if we believe it was first the Wright brothers who gave an aircraft to the mankind, they were cycle mechanics. They were not scientists, so they were not formally experimenting inside a laboratory or a wind tunnel. They just they were in touch with nature, in touch with certain amount of mechanics of how things work, and they created an efficient machine which could fly, which could take off from the earth. So look at this. Who are the people who are masters of electronics? What did they do? Did they find it in books or laboratories? No, in the free zone. Look at Bill Gates. Look at Steve Jobs. Whatever they have created is they left their education and then went in for. So I don't say that you leave your education, you go for it, and if you have a knack for it. But वो जो रट्टू तोता बनने वाली बात होती है ना, रट्टू तोता मत बनिए. आजकल की जो टोटल एजुकेशन सिस्टम है वो आपको रट्टू तोता बनाना और उसी पे रिवॉर्ड करना सिखाती है. आप रट लीजिए, आप यूपीएससी रट के रिटर्न क्लियर कर लीजिए, एंड यू वुड बी, आई डोंट से दैट some of the IAS and our bureaucrats, they are brilliant people, the brilliant minds. But what we do, we reduce their mind, the openness of their mind, the mastery of their mind, down to books which are scripted by other people. So where is the question of experimenting or experiencing nature yourself? Human being is it's a big creation. I leave a human being aside. I would say that every minutest particle in nature, like photon, has its own consciousness. It has its own intelligence. We have Young's double slit experiment, 1805. So what that experiment told, what it conveyed, Young had placed slit in front of a light source and a dark area. So what his findings were, that the photon chooses whether it wants to behave like particle or it wants to behave like a wave. That means in one format it is matter and in another it is energy, and in some, look at the mastery, it is both at the same time. So it is transforming in an instant, in a whisker. It becomes from matter to energy and from energy to matter. That is the capability God has granted to the minutest particle. What we can discern from it, that we are a super creation, and we are limiting ourselves in books. You read books, but go beyond it. Don't cram, understand things. Understand what the book is trying to convey, what a theory is trying to convey. Only once you understand a theory completely, then it will convert into a real concept in a living life. Otherwise, what the Western science methodology, what they expect from a human being is they have compartments. ये scientist का compartment है, ये student का compartment है, ये common man का है. Common man के लिए क्या है? 10 से 5 काम करो, अपनी shift लगाओ, ये सब करो. जो scientist है सर वो discover करेगा, वो invent करेगा. No other being can do it. Student है वो आप पढ़ो, you cram this and you reproduce this. This is the adverse influence of Western science on Indian education system. हमारी जो culture है कितनी rich है. Since eternity we have, zero was discovered in India, and I don't say it when it is said to have discovered. ग्वालियर में फोर्ट के पास में एक टेम्पल है, वहाँ पे प्राकृत में zero लिखा है. That means it was before Aryabhat that zero existed. Look at the mastery of nature. Nature ने mystery भी बनाई है, and it has also given mankind inquisitive mind. And somehow this is a game which nature wants to play. I think that why nature created mankind is probably to satiate this biggest need of nature. Nature likes that there should be someone who should be able to understand me. Then only he will appreciate me. Unless you understand nature, how will you appreciate nature? With what mastery, what craftsmanship it maintains life. Life is not everywhere. We take it for granted on earth. We kill animals, for joy, for taste, for many various reasons. But we don't know how to create such a life. That is the mastery of nature, and it is only the privilege of planet Earth that there is life. It is not there everywhere. जिसकी माँ नहीं हो आप उससे पूछो. अब वैसे तो आप बोलोगे तो माँ का क्या है, माँ तो सबकी होती है, लेकिन जिसकी नहीं है उससे पूछ के देखो. सिमिलरली वो उस प्लैनेट से पूछ के देखो कि जहाँ पे लाइफ नहीं है. वीनस तरसता होगा, सब कुछ है लेकिन लाइफ नहीं है. सो अनदर थिंग अबाउट नेचर इज लाइक फेमिनिन एनर्जी. फेमिनिन एनर्जी की एक मैं आपको पिक्युलियरिटी बताता हूँ. Feminine energy जो है, it wants you to find out about what it likes, what it doesn't like, what will make it happy, what will make it sad, what is going on on her mind. I associate the word her with feminine energy and say so. So what is it? Like my own wife or my own girlfriend, I'm just taking the example, for example's sake. So she would like me to know what is going on in her mind without her speaking. This is called indulgent. That means she has to be first in my thoughts, to then go to the next step that what is she thinking. Similarly, nature is giving you everything 24/7, and in return what it expects is at least think about it in special hours of the time, days. Meditate for some time, sit in a isolated place beyond books, just be with yourself. Let there be only nature and your own self. Then look at the fun. What is the fun? So then the discoveries will take place. Read books to have a fundamental base to understand things, because the discoveries you have, you will need the language of science to express it, as I have done in this book. So very recently Nobel Prize was given for quantum entanglement. That's something which exists in the nature. It is there in Sanatan system, Ardhanarishwar form. I have made a video on that. You can click on the screen on the right side and watch that video also. I would not dwell further on that part on quantum entanglement, but I would say that in my view, one of the greatest discovery of recent times is the leaking of oxygen from Earth all the way to the moon. Mr. Tarada, Kentaro Tarada of Japan's Osaka University, he was the one, he analyzed the data of one of the moon probes, Kaguya or Kayuga, and he discovered that in the shadow of the Earth, like those 5 days when there is no moon on Earth, because otherwise the oxygen that was being leaked out from the Earth used to get mixed up with the other particles, and in the particles which come with the solar wind. So it was masked or shadowed by these things. But he examined this data brilliantly and discovered. Now that holds a very great secret of nature. इसके ऊपर मैंने particle exchange के ऊपर एक वीडियो बनाया जिसको आप देख सकते हैं. You can click on the right side of the screen and watch that video also. And my own discovery is copyrighted discovery since October 2021 में मैंने उसको copyright किया था. वो that is about that moon से hydrogen particles अर्थ पे आते हैं. जो solar wind है, जो sun rays हैं, जब moon पे पड़ती हैं तो moon की regolith उनको प्रोसेस करके एट द रेट ऑफ 2 out of 5 वो रिफ्लेक्ट कर देती है और उनकी एनर्जी काफ़ी कम कर देती है, जो लगभग आधे घंटे में अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में एंटर करते हैं. So these are the discoveries directly coming from nature, from the cosmic bodies and the planets. ना इसमें हमें ये जानने की जरूरत नहीं है कि अर्थ से सन की दूरी क्या है या ये क्या है, इसमें मॉडर्न गैजेट्स का इस्तेमाल किया गया, बट दे डिड नॉट बाइंड फिजिक्स बाय मैथमेटिक्स. Actually, mathematics is the servant of physics, not the other way around. Logic is the mother of truth, and beyond logic, it is the consciousness which is the grandmother of all things that exist in nature. Because there are things which are beyond human logic, which work beyond human logic. That is where we step into the domain of quantum physics. So this is what I want to say, that you read books for basic knowledge, fundamental knowledge, but don't limit yourself, don't bind yourself by it, don't become a prisoner of books. Don't become merely a scholar. From a scholar become a wise man. From a wise man become an enlightened man. That is the journey of life every human should, I guess, should endeavor. And why I am making this video is because this journey is being restricted by the limiting it by कि आप मान लीजिए जब मैं साइंस बियॉन्ड चैनल शुरू कर रहा था तो लोग मेरे से पूछते थे यार आप साइंस के ऊपर चैनल बना रहे हो, आपकी क्या एजुकेशन. आई सेड नो, आई हैव स्टडीड साइंस अप टू PSc लेवल, बट दैट डज नॉट प्रिवेंट मी फ्रॉम इंक्वायरी इनटू नेचर और एलिमेंट्स ऑफ लाइफ or elements of nature or the usual mechanics, day-to-day mechanics. We can observe things every day. And Einstein says that experience the nature every day, each day. Don't miss out on any day. So why should I rely on formal education alone? Why should I wait for formal education to start my inquiry? And when I started on this journey, a lot of things happened. So I want to share this experience with you. You don't limit. वो जो उसका था ना तारे जमी का उसका बच्चा था, he used to paint so well, but we wanted him to study books because an artist, art is a greater form of human existence. It does not occur. It does. Even an artist he could not be painting masterpieces every day. Whereas you can, you could be writing papers every month. But if you tell me to paint a picture, maybe it will take me a lifetime because God has not given me, the nature has not endowed me with that capability. Similarly, so you find what is your meat, what is your real, taste in life, what nature has actually given you. Don't try to run away from your destiny. If God has destined you to be a sportsman, be a sportsman. Go and master it. You look at Roger Federer. He has not calculated कि wind इतनी है, यहाँ से ये है, मेरे tennis का angle, racket का angle ये होना चाहिए, ball का toss ही होना चाहिए. He is more precise than a machine. A machine may not be able to produce such a consistent thing because it will get wavered by wind. But he is sensing his own body is acting like a super machine. So the God's creation as human being, which is a super machine, no machine can master, no amount of AI can overtake the human intelligence and the human consciousness. This was so much for this video, and we will join again. If you like the video, do remember to share it with your friends, and this maybe show it to your parents also, because this might liberate you somewhat from the bookish knowledge or all those hours of study that you have to put in under pressure. Do it voluntarily rather than under pressure. Thank you.